Amy, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm okay. And just so everybody knows, I wanted to just jump right into this so that you guys
Right.
know I am friendly. And I literally just met Amy for the first time, what, 2 minutes ago, Amy?
Yeah.
So anybody out there that wants help, I'm not a stranger. Even if we've never met,
No.
I'm not a stranger at all. So please reach out. So today, Amy, what we're going to talk about is you had reached out and you said you do something. You do the SOWs, correct?
Yes.
Can you just tell us all what an SOW is? Because there may be people out there that don't know what an SOW is.
Yeah. So an SOW is a statement of work. So it's pretty much something that we put together for our clients. So if they want something done that's a little unique to their websites, this is what we do for them.
So it's basically like a work order.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, SOW sounds so high speed and out of my
Yeah.
league, but now I know an SOW is just basically a work order. Hey, I want you
Yeah.
to do this for me. How much is it going to cost?
Correct.
And give me a timeline. That's
Yep.
all it is, right?
Yep.
Okay. And you do this repetitively, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that's basically what uh current AI is really good at as repetitive task. They're going to get
Yes.
smarter. They're going to get to where, we're talking about agentic AI, which
Mhm.
means there's tons of agents out there.
Right.
And sure, one day you may have an agent that literally just looks at your call logs or your email
Mhm.
communications and
Yeah.
puts all that together for you automatically, right? We're headed
Right.
there. But
Yeah.
right now, that's not where we are. So right now, where
Right.
we are is you're doing the majority of the work by gathering and I was going to say intelligence. You're just gathering information and basically you're putting together these statements of work, right?
Correct. Yes.
So what I want you to do, and what I'm going to do is it's probably going to be a
Mhm.
two-part series. You and I are going to do this, and then I'm going
Mhm.
to take uh, the transcript of what you tell me, and then I'm going to go and build out a custom GPT that will help you do this. But I'm going to show
Okay.
you today how to do a custom GPT very
Okay.
quickly. But I've already taken you on as a task, so I will
Yep.
build your custom GPT. But
Perfect.
so what I want you to do is tell me what your workflow is like, because what we want to do is we want
Okay.
to give AI as much information as possible to be
Mhm.
able to go in and say, okay, I know Amy does this, does this,
Mhm.
does this, and does this, and then
Mhm.
takes all of this and then does this, right?
Right.
So what you want to do is be as detailed as possible and just
Okay.
use like a gun store, say, well, gun store calls me and gun store
Mhm.
tells us they want to do so and so, right?
Mhm.
And then I just want you to take me through the process of how you do these SOWs.
Okay. So first off, we will get the information for the SOW from said gun store, gun dealer. They'll give us that information, and this is kind of where I was hoping I could get, an awesome thing set up. Because I do a lot of back and forth with ChatGPT. So where I start is I'll pull up the specific one that I'm going to need for that client. So I either have the SIG ones or I have just regular clients. Where SIG sometimes is a little bit more in depth, kind of depending on what they need. So where I start is with the statement of work is overview. So they want some type of an overview for their statement of work, what's going to be going on with it. So that's where I jump over to ChatGPT and I'll be like, give me a good overview. A lot of the times, though, I'll have to ask it to sometimes make it more detailed for me because it'll give me just a straight answer, where sometimes I'll have to say, bring it down a notch because you're too specific on what we need. Um, so I kind of start there with overview. After that, I put an overview in. We have deliverables and summaries. So I'll ask it to give me a deliverable for everything that it gave me in the overview of what is needed to be done. So that's kind of where I go back and forth with it. I do ask it not to lie to me, to make things up. I ask it not to repeat itself because sometimes it does like to do that. But once I say we, like a partner of mine, but it kind of is in a way because it does help me a lot. Um, where that's where we kind of make the SOW. When it comes to like where you get like the prices and stuff like that, that's going to be like from the dev that's giving us the price and how much that statement of work is going to cost the client. But really, what I need from this is giving me a good overview of what I'm putting in there, a good deliverable summary of what we're going to be doing to break it down on what's going on for that said client.
Okay. So what I did for you already is, remember I asked you, and I want you to realize, and everyone else out there to realize, ChatGPT is very powerful. And if you just start a chat and you start working with it, it's going to give you some good stuff to work with, right? It's going to give you some good information. You're getting smarter and smarter.
Yeah.
However, I'm not going to go if I've got a health issue or I do something repetitive and the task that it's just I need an expert in this field.
Right.
I'm not just going to open up a chat, right? I want to build the perfect helper, the perfect assistant to do that. And that's what a custom GPT is within ChatGPT. Other AI solutions, Google, they offer something similar where you can build, like little specialist bots. I think maybe Claude does. I'm pretty sure they all do because all of those specialist bots will eventually be agents, right? I think maybe one day, and this is just my vision, it's going to have where you can just flip a switch on that bot that you created that will kind of give it a little bit more life and be able to act on your part, sovereignly, like on its own.
Yeah.
So what I did is I took what you gave me, and I'm going to share my screen here. And I'm going to take us off the screen. That way, if I've got to, brush my hair or fix my hat, I can do that. But I'm going to talk. In previous videos where I was doing these, I would be talking and looking at my screen like everybody else could see it. And I was wasting so much time and it was horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah, absolutely.
You guys can't even see what I was just talking about. So we're going to fix that right now. So this is what I did for what you sent me, Amy. And here's all I said. You sent me I asked you, hey, Amy, I want you to send me the most detailed SOW that you've used, right?
Right.
And you sent me one. So I just turned that into a PDF. And then I said, again, I want you guys out there to realize I don't know Amy's language. I want to look at the camera when I'm saying this so that you guys know how serious I am. If you watched the State of the Core and what we were talking about, what Ezra did with that tool,
it's amazing.
I could not do this. If you gave me months and months, I couldn't do what he did because he knows the language, right? I know how the stuff works. I promise you, I understand. I have an understanding, when I ask people, do you use AI? And they're like, oh yeah, I use AI. And and in my head, I'm like, no, you really don't. Right. Because you answer too soon and you're using it like most people use Google. And a lot of people don't know how to use Google. Right. And we all know the secret to using Google is how to communicate, how to get the information that you need from Google. Right. So you can say, I want this, and it will give you millions of examples of this. But the more specific you are, the more crystallized the information you'll get, and it's more useful. So it's the same with these robots, right? I don't know your language. So I want everybody to understand when I go in here and I started my process for building this custom GPT was to just open up a chat, right? And the first thing I want to do is just tell the general ChatGPT what I want to do, right? And that's what I did here. And I'm just going to read it because I want you guys to realize I don't know what I'm talking about with this, right? But we'll see if this is something that Amy can use because I've already built one, right? But I want her and all of you out there to understand that you can do the same thing. and you can build these things as precise and as knowledgeable as you want them to be. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to read through what I did.
Perfect.
So the first thing I did is I uploaded this along with this prompt. I said, I need some help making a custom GPT. I want to make a bot that would help me write SOWs to where I don't have to ask it a million questions. And you remember, Amy, these are your words, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
To where I don't have to ask it a million questions on what I need and constantly have to go back and forth. I would like to make something that I can ask, write a SOW for this, then put the information in and it writes it the way I need it. Below, I will go into a little more detail and also include a file with an example SOW that I've written in the past. Once you have all the information, I would like for you to create instructions for this custom GPT that will help me do this. Ideally, and I see I misspelled ideally, what the workflow would look like is I would tell the custom GPT that I want to write an SOW, and the custom GPT would ask for the relevant information and then write it using the attached file as a template. Keep in mind that the attached file is only an example of an SOW. Each SOW may be a little different, but they all sort of follow the same format. Writing SOWs is something I do over and over. We're back to your words, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Writing SOWs is something I do over and over again. I just want to streamline this process so that I can knock them out pretty quickly. What is an SOW? An SOW or statement of work is a formal document that defines specific services or tasks a vendor or contractor is expected to perform as part of the project. It outlines project-specific activities, deliverables, timelines, and terms and conditions agreed upon by the parties involved. What is the purpose? The purpose of a statement of work is to clearly define the scope, responsibilities, deliverables, and expectations of a project or engagement to ensure that all parties have a mutual understanding of what is to be done, how it will be done, and under what terms. And then my target audience is the client or buyer, project sponsor, or business owner. Okay, so that's what we've got there. So then it came down here. Got it, Joel. Based on your goals and the example SOW provided, here's a clear plan to build a custom GPT that helps you knock out statements of work without a ton of back and forth. And then it gives me what I'm wanting here. Purpose and core functionality. This custom GPT helps generate clean, client-ready statements of work based on your input. Its job is to ask for only the essential info you need to provide, format the final SOW using your preferred structure like the example, let you quickly tweak, copy, and deploy the finished SOW. The key features and strengths. Prompt-driven form fill. You just say, write an SOW for this and paste your notes. GPT takes it from there. Flexible format recognizes different types of SOWs, but defaults to your preferred layout. Your project, and this is the layout that was included in your example, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
The project title, overview, deliverables, timeline, etc. Minimal back and forth. You'll only answer what's truly needed. No over questioning. Smart defaults can auto-fill reusable elements, e.g. your business info, standard language. Professional tone always outputs in a clear client-facing voice. See, I didn't even ask it to do that. It just knows to do that on its own.
That's cool.
Interaction flow, the workflow. Here's how the GPT should behave in a typical use case. Trigger, you say, write an SOW for the project name or basic idea. The GPT responds, sure, let's get the info I need to create your SOW. Answer as much or as little as you'd like. I'll fill in the rest based on best practices. Then it asks for client name, project title, date, or default for today. Overview, what's the project about? Deliverables, what needs to be created or done. List each deliverable with a short description. Timeline milestones is optional, but I'm pretty sure they want that, right? They want to know what the timeline is for whatever they're paying for. Pricing or payment terms, special notes or legal clauses. GPT then outputs a clean SOW in this style. So you have a statement of work prepared for project and date, overview, short summary, deliverables. Does this look about like what the template should look like, Amy?
Yeah, it does. When it comes to like the timeline and payment terms, that's fine. Um, but yeah.
So additional options, you could add preset templates like the basic website project, e-commerce setup. You could easily use e-com template, export to PDF or Word,
Mhm.
auto date and autofill company info. And then it says, let me know if you want me to write the actual instructions to paste into the custom GPT setup screen, the description, behavior guidelines, example prompts, etc. Want me to take the next step? I said, yes, write the actual instructions. And it looks like I can't spell again. Also, I will include the example I gave you for the custom GPT to use as a general guide. Perfect. And you can see right here, it updated my saved memory, right?
Right.
So
Mhm.
what that means is when you're using this, because I think you're on the paid plan,
Mhm.
it's
Yes.
going to build these memories in. So it's gonna whenever you see this updated saved memory, that
Mhm.
means it's going to be in your memory. So any future conversations that have to do with this, it's smart enough to know, hey, this is how we did it last time. I'll just do it the same way.
That's
And I'll show
amazing.
you before we get off how you can control those memories, because some things you don't want it to remember.
Right.
So the custom GPT instructions for SOW writer, what this GPT is for. This GPT helps the user quickly generate clean professional statements of work for client projects. It asks only the necessary questions, uses a consistent structure, and formats the final document in a clear, client-ready style. And these are the behavior guidelines. And these are some things that if you wanted to, you could go in and change. That's why I'm saying to you, Amy, I don't
Mhm.
know what you do. So
Right.
I'm doing this blind, but it very well could be okay for you, right? But
Mhm.
you could actually go a little bit deeper and be a lot more engaging with the robot and really get out an actual custom GPT that would help you. So you can see it's given me the same information that it or the same stuff that it gave me up here. It's just
Yeah.
writing it a little bit differently, right?
Mhm.
So we
Mhm.
go down here, it's saying the same thing. You can see everything's pretty much the same. Your GPT should, oh, wait. Let me know if you want a version with some auto scripting features, like inserting the current date or auto including coreware in the prepared by section. Want me to include that too? I said yes. Also, rewrite the above, but I do not want you to include the emojis because I don't need this little
Mm.
pencil or this
No.
little brain right here, because all I'm going to do is copy and paste this stuff. So
Right.
it rewrites it. And it's pretty much saying the same thing. It's just a little bit easier to do, and it knows my information, so it's gonna prepared by Coreware. It's
Mhm.
got all of our information right there, and you can obviously, if you're doing this and you wanted to put another address, or you wanted to change something here, all you would have to do is just continue the conversation and say everything looks good, but I would like for you to change so and so, and then it will do that. So pre-writing questions. And this is something, Amy, that you could expound upon whenever you're working with it, because you may want it to
Mhm.
ask you other things like, well, I usually do this a lot.
Right.
This constantly happens. So I want you to ask me about this as well. So
Mhm.
you have complete control over this. Then once the
Awesome.
responses are collected, immediately generate the formatted SOW below. And then this is what that looks like. Um,
Yes.
so it's ready to go. Now then,
Mhm.
what I want to do. So this would be an example user prompt for you. This is what you would do. Write an SOW for a firearms auction site integration with inventory syncing and a reporting dashboard. Client is Black Rifle Supply. Timeline is 4 weeks. Payment terms are milestone based. That's all the information that you would have to include, Amy,
Yeah.
along with whatever other communications that they had. And you literally can just put those in a PDF,
Mhm.
upload them, and then use a prompt like this. And then it said, let me know if you want me to drop this into a TXT file or format it for pasting directly. I said yes. And I downloaded it. It's going to create what you can download if you guys are building these out.
Mhm.
Uh, and then it gave me SOW writer. I said, what is a better name for SOW writer? So you can see I just used this uh, as a collaborator. It's collaborating with me on creating this custom GPT. And you saw that I, obviously used one of their suggestions, core
Mhm.
SOW. Right now, then
Yep.
what we're going to do is we're going to go over and look at that. So this is core SOW. I'm wondering, and I'm thinking, Amy, if there is. I wonder if we could just do one real quick. Do you have like something really simple that you could
Um,
like just say, yeah, this AAA Firearms wants to do this, and then let's just see what spits out here on the custom GPT that I created here. Well, I didn't create it.
yeah, we could probably use anything. We could just ask it to here's an easy one.
Can you copy and
Update.
paste it and then
Yeah.
yeah, because I am a horrible typist.
Okay,
If
got
you've
it.
seen any of my previous videos. And while you're doing that,
No, you're
I'm
good.
just going to tell a story. Oh, I did want to share something. I saw this on X, and I think it would really help anyone out there using AI. I just want to see it. It really resonated with me. Let's see. Here it is. So this guy posted, the most important skill for talking to AI isn't prompting or context. It's articulating intent, which I always knew it was about communicating with the robot. But
Right.
again, this guy crystallized it down even further into, no, you need to articulate your intent, and you do that by communicating, right?
Right.
Data and syntax won't get you there if you haven't properly set up the question. You'll be
Mm,
optimizing in the wrong direction. So when you guys out there, and you, Amy, want to go
mhm,
build, a custom GPT, the first thing you're going to do is articulate your intent. What is your
mhm.
intent for this GPT? Hey, robot, I want you to help me build a custom GPT to help me do this. Okay,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. And then you say, here, I'm going to provide you with everything that I know about this process. And then I want you to just guide me through the process of building a custom GPT that will help me do this much more efficiently, because this is something that I do, repetitively. Does that make
Right.
sense? So let me
Yes.
read that one more time because it's very important. The
Yeah.
most important skill for talking to AI isn't prompting or context. It's articulating intent. Data and syntax won't get you there if you haven't properly set up the question. You'll be optimizing in the wrong direction. So you
Right.
need to really learn to articulate your intent, right? And
Right.
that's not only going to help you with the robots, that will help you with people as well, because the robots are just made in our image, right?
Right.
We need to know how to speak to each other as well. And I see lots of miscommunications, even
Mhm.
in our own business. People are like, I don't understand. It's because we're not articulating. So
Right.
we all need to just learn to articulate our intent,
Yeah.
and then hopefully those around us,
Right.
know how to read that intent, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does.
All right. So did you sent that to me?
I did.
Okay.
Did
Let
you
me
get
go.
it? I
Yeah. Let
did
me
a
go
link.
over
It was
here.
easier. Okay.
Let's see. Oh no. So I can't do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that takes it. It takes. Do you have just the text? Because I have to go into
Oh,
each
yeah, let me do
box.
that real
Yeah,
quick.
I have to go into each box and copy and paste,
Oh,
and it
okay.
takes so long.
Okay. Do you want me to just get you the
Yeah,
overview and stuff? Just do that?
you can
Okay.
just get, like, if it's a jumble of text, it doesn't matter. That's how
Oh, okay.
smart I want you to understand the robot is.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying, if you've got one email chain, because that's usually how we communicate with people, right? You're
Right.
going back and forth. You could go to that one email chain, open the entire thing up, copy and paste it in like a PDF, or just do text. And this robot's going to be smart enough to really decipher what you're trying to do and pull out what you need. This is made to save time. It's not made to add
Yeah.
to your workload. It's made to lighten your workload.
Perfect. All right. I'll just get this. Come on, copy all of it. It just wants to highlight per box, so I'll just do this.
No, you're good. I'm going to just pause for a second so I can take a
Okay.
drink of water. Okay, we're back. It took Amy way less time than it would have taken me to do the same thing. And again, that's because it's a repetitive task, and she's familiar with this, right?
Right.
But it goes back to these robots are no different from humans.
Yeah.
They're all work because they're literally built on our image. So you want your robot to be built in your image to do the things that you do. It's just going to be able to do it way, way faster than you.
Faster.
But it's still going to require you. That's why people need to stop being afraid of AI. AI is your tool. AI is the way that you, it's the way that you outwork everyone else, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen here. You shared, so you shared the text from that SOW. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, use the following to write an SOW for AAA guns. AAA guns, which is a fake company, right? And I'm just going to paste in what you did, and what yours was is just this little bit of information right here, right? So you gave an overview. Wait, let me go closer here. You gave an overview. This statement of work outlines the terms and deliverables for the enterprise cloud upgrade. This upgrade provides clients with access to enterprise level features, infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. Not saying your words are blah, blah, blah. I'm just going fast.
No, you're good.
The enterprise cloud upgrade includes access to APIs for system integration, blah, blah, blah. Again, one-time upgrade fee, $2,500. Monthly recurring fee baseline is $1,500, right? So let's see what core SOW came up with for you, Amy. Okay, to finalize your SOW for AAA guns, I just need the project title. Should we call it Enterprise Cloud Upgrade?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. And you can see what happens here.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's telling you over here what it's doing, right? This is where we had our conversation. And then right here is the finished product. So let's just look at this. We'll go here. Obviously, it got us right. Coreware.
Yeah.
All that right. Statement of work. Prepare for AAA guns project. Enterprise cloud upgrade. Date July 2nd, 2025. Overview. This statement of work outlines the terms and deliverables for the enterprise cloud upgrade. This upgrade provides clients with access to enterprise level features and infrastructure, including API access and enhanced server capabilities to support scalability, performance, and security. The tasks required to complete this project will follow the outlined timelines and deliver the components at the agreed price listed in this statement. Deliverables and summaries. Deliverable 1, API access. Provision of access to APIs for seamless system integration and real-time data connectivity across platforms. Deliverable 2, upgraded server infrastructure. Implementation of enhanced server infrastructure to deliver improved performance, greater reliability, and scalability to meet growing demands. Deliverable 3, enterprise level resources and support. Access to enterprise tier resources, including priority support, monitoring, and maintenance services. Payment terms: one-time upgrade fee of $2,500, monthly recurring fee baseline $1,500. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's amazing. And I love how it puts in everything that we had before. So like the very top, it's going to say Coreware. It puts in everything that, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. You have no idea.
Yeah. Hey, and here's what I would tell you, Amy. So this, as we get more and more familiar with how to use these tools, right now we're just diving in because it's the Wild West, right? But as we go along, we'll develop our own systems. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it may be smart to have a system in place to where if a company, and this may be something that I can guarantee you, eventually we'll be doing this company wide. And
Yeah.
Ezra's probably, if he's watching this, he's like, no, we won't. It's coming. I'm just saying it's coming.
No, I won't.
But we'll have a bot
Mhm.
for every customer, right? So that we can
Right.
go, you can go and you can like AAA bot, AAA gun bot. It's going to tell you all of the SOWs we've ever done. It's going to tell you what they've paid. It's going to
So
tell you
cool.
like, hey, these people, and maybe one day we plug in revenue. These people are doing this. Maybe we should raise the price here. And
Right.
here's a good way to raise the price based upon the communications that I've seen you provide me, you know, in the
Yeah.
past. Here's their psychological makeup based upon
Yeah.
how they communicate. I'm going to show you how to communicate with them to get what you need, right?
Mhm.
This
Right.
is where we're headed. But
This is
right
so
now,
cool.
we need to start using these
Mhm.
tools. And for you, what I would do, if you do this, if you find yourself going back to customers, right,
Mhm.
that you've helped in the past with SOWs, I would just start creating creating a custom GPT for each customer,
It's
right?
perfect. Yeah.
And you could, if you really wanted to do it, like, I mean, if you really, you need to get
Mhm.
used to just doing this first, I think.
Right.
But I would, for the first few times, use separate, you know, chats.
Mhm.
But again, you can do this every time you need to do an SOW, because this is a custom GPT. And
Mhm.
once you have it, it will be over here on the side. However, when you click on it, it starts a chat.
Right.
So it's not going to have the memory in the chat of all the other SOWs. It's the memory is contained in the chat, if that makes
Right.
sense. So you can
Yes.
plug that one
Mhm.
SOW into all of those different chats for all those different
Mhm.
companies that you're writing SOWs for.
Right.
So again, the custom GPT is basically a
Mhm.
repetitive task that I conquered just by making the custom GPT. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, this is something that you're going to have to do every time. Why not just have a
Mhm.
custom GPT for it, right?
Right.
Now
Right.
you're going to do the same thing. Uh, Again, we're going to crystallize down to the
Mhm.
finest point to where it's only doing what you want it to do at light speed.
Right.
So, um, this is, do you think you could use it now? When you start
Yeah.
using this, what you're probably going to do is you're probably going to find, you know what, maybe I would like it to do something a little differently, right?
Right.
And what you could do is go into, I'm going to go in here to edit custom GPT, and I'll show you where I've configured it. And all I did, I'm going to go back to where we had that conversation. And remember, I had this SOW write GPT instructions. All I did was download that. Again, I didn't take the time or care that you
Right.
will, because I don't
Mhm.
know your workflow. I don't know your job. I'm just trying to show you,
Right.
just doing it idiotically can get you
Mhm.
something really cool.
So big. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you just take the time to really
Mhm.
condense down, what was it? Articulate your intent. Take the
Mhm.
time to articulate your intent, and your core SOW will blow mine out of the water, because it's going to be like, it's going
Yeah.
to need less
So
information.
excited.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to need less time on your part. So,
Right.
and again, for all of you out there, and for you, Amy, as well, you
Mhm.
guys need to absolutely read everything that it gives you. If you notice the way I
Mhm.
was reading that, and I know people probably are like, dude, get on with it. You don't have to read everything. I
No.
do that with everything that
Mhm.
we send out as a company, that the
Mhm.
robot gives me. I want to make sure if there's a mistake that's let out, I'm
Yes.
just an idiot, right? Or I just, you know, I flubbed it. I'm sorry, which we're not perfect. We will do that.
Right.
But
Mhm.
we just need to just take pride in what you do. Take pride in
Right.
anything that you send out there. When you put your signature on it, you know, you're
Mhm.
proud of what you've done, the work that you've
Yep.
done. Um, so make sure you read everything, because some of this stuff may have been completely wrong. The only thing
Mhm.
AI does is augments what we can already do.
Right.
Amy, can you make mistakes?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so AI can augment those mistakes.
Right.
So It's not going to do, it's not just going to take off and do whatever it wants.
Right.
It's only going
Yeah.
to augment what you can do. So we just have to, you and the robot are now collaborators in this task of creating these SOWs.
Yeah.
Let's say do you communicate with customers a lot through email?
I do sometimes.
Okay. Do you ever deal with angry customers?
Not a whole lot.
Well, if there's anyone out there that does deal with angry customers, and all you want to do is send them a message letting them know, hey, we care. We are absolutely working on it. I'm sorry about whatever. And you don't feel like, you don't have it in you, man. Like, I'm tired. My soul is drained. I don't have any kindness in me right now.
Yeah.
Let the robot augment your kindness that you
I already
plugged in.
do that. Yeah.
There you go.
I do that.
So you can, but again, Amy, here's what I want you to realize. I know you say you do it.
Right.
But do you have a special bot that does it? That's my point.
No.
That's my point.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, yeah, I use AI. Well, now you got to go through and look at 1,000 different chats to find, what you're looking for. Whereas you could just go and create a custom GPT that will handle that for you all the time. Right.
Right.
And you don't have to go back and find the previous conversation. You can just click that custom GPT and start again,
Right.
But again, it's
cool.
This stuff is new. And the more you use it, the more you're going to find different systems that work for you.
Right.
I can't tell anybody out there anything about AI and their job. All I can tell you is that whatever you can do, this will help you do it 1,000 times faster, 1,000,000 times faster.
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's all I can do. I'm not special. Nobody's anymore. The AI is the great equalizer in the world now. It's like the cult peacemaker was back in the day, right?
Yep.
Cult peacemaker was the great equalizer. Everybody had a gun. Everybody's equal. AI is the same way, but you need to start using it now. And the more you use it, Amy, the more you're going to find ways. Like, you're going to be able to come to me in a month and say, Joel, look at this. It's going to be something that I haven't even considered.
Yeah.
Right. And I do know a lot about how all this stuff works, but you're going to surprise me because I don't do your job. And that's why I say that's when we'll see the real magic happen, because as everyone starts using this stuff, we're all going to find different ways that we could do things. And who knows, you may say, Joel, I know you do. I know you use your AI for this. I just had this occur to me and I saw that, the robot spit this out and I thought it could help you. And then all those great ideas start bubbling up. And before you know it, we're leading as in our industry, because our industry, the firearms industry, is antiquated, right? I mean, we're very, very old when it comes to technologies, when it comes to all this stuff, because we're on the range, we're out in the field, we just want to shoot guns, right? Now, we don't have to. We can, these robots will allow, the most technologically inept person or company be on par with other companies that are, using technologies. So just use it, all of you out there. Again, I told you, let's go over this real quick. So what I was doing is I was showing you how I built the custom GPT. So I told you, where did we go? So I told you I downloaded this and I went back to the custom GPT and I literally just pasted it right here.
Right.
And then I uploaded a file. I uploaded your SOW example. And all you do is you just upload, right? And it's going to use that as an example. I don't know why it's not there now. It should have been there. Maybe it just wrote that without that example, which would have been amazing.
Right.
And it's probably not going to do it. It's like, hey, Joel. Oh, there we go. And then you would go up here and update this. So when you update, again, let me just do this real quick. Okay. I saw an internal server error. So maybe chat's having problems today. So what I'm going to do really quick, Amy, is I'm just going to show you how you would do a custom GPT and show you how easy it is. Now, you know, the first part is very important. The first part is articulating your intent. And the
Correct.
robot is very good at helping you articulate your intent. You know what I would do, Amy? I would say, here's what I want to do. I want you to help me to articulate the intent
That's good.
of what I'm wanting to do. So
Right.
it's not just you articulating your intent. You literally go to the robot and say, I want you to help me articulate this in a way that a custom GPT will know everything that it needs to know and work as efficiently as possible with as little information and time on my part. Because all you want to do is you just want to plug in the repetitive information that you always have, whether that's the overview. You just want to plug the overview in. You want to plug the deliverables in. You want to plug the cost in, and then all right, create it. And then you just want to paste that into a email or whatnot and shoot that out. So I'm going to show you how easy it is once you've gone through that process. And that is the most time consuming process, is having that conversation with the robot and articulating your intent. I'm going to pound that from now on, because that is so important to articulate your intent, right? Don't just assume that the words coming out of your mouth have a universal understanding to everybody, because they don't, right?
No.
So you want to really learn to communicate. And that helps, again, not only with the robots, it will help you in your everyday life, just communicating with people, right? Because you'll have a better understanding of, maybe I'm not communicating. I want to communicate as efficiently as possible because I don't want to use a bunch of words. I used more words in this 41 minutes. Well, we did have the webinar yesterday, but I've used more words when I do this stuff than I do in my everyday life, right? I don't want to use a whole lot of words to communicate. So I'm going to show you how from start to finish, and it's going to be like 3 or 4 minutes, right? This is how fast you just create a custom GPT. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to right over here where it says GPTs, right here. I'm going to click on GPTs, and then I'm going to click create. Now, you guys know I've already, copied that text from earlier. So if you want to just play around with it, you can start with create and tell it what you want to do. I like going here because I've already done all that. I'm going to go to configure and I'm going to plug in the instructions. So there are the instructions. And then I'm just going to call it SOW for now. And then I'm going to go down here. Man, it's still having internal server errors. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to upload that file again. Upload. Hopefully it uploads. It looks like it is uploaded. And then I'm going to go create. And then I'm going to go anyone with the link or only me. I'm going to go only me for right now, just to keep it safe. And then I'm going to save. Hopefully it saves. GPT published. All right. So I can go view it if I want to, but I don't right now because I'm not done with it. Right. So what I want to do is I want to go over here. And this is just a little pet peeve. I just like doing this because I don't like this little box right there, because if I have a bunch of little boxes, I get confused. So I'll say, create a profile pic for this SOW writer. And it's just going to create a little profile pic. And any change you make, I want you to really pay attention to this, because you're going to, that's pretty cool, huh? All right. And then I always try to be nice to the robot. So I say, this is great. That way, when they turn on us, they're going to be like, save that guy for last. He was nice to us.
Right.
All right. So now what I want to do is I'm going to update. Now, when I update, you'll notice something. If it updates. I'm waiting, robot. There we go. So now it changed that to invite only. Remember I said only me?
Yeah.
And now it changed it to invite only. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back up here to share. So let's say you wanted to make a custom GPT for somebody. You go up here and share, and then you See, I don't know why it did that because it should be here. Anyone with a link. So usually when you change it, if I have this set and I go update, so watch this. And I just want you guys to keep in mind, this is what happens. It didn't this time, which is great. Maybe they're fixing stuff. But if I go here and update, I didn't really change anything. So let me go change something real quick. Okay, it did. So it changed it back to me. So keep in mind, if you have this, if you build something for someone to use, and you go and you make a slight little change, it's going to have only you as the person that can access the bot. So anybody that you share that link with, they're going to be like, hey man, this thing's not working anymore. You just need to make sure how your save settings are set.
Okay.
But there it is. I mean, did that take a long time?
No.
Okay, let me do this. I'm going to go back now because we're going to test it out. Okay. I just want to see if it works.
Yeah.
Everything should be exact to the one that I built earlier, because I don't think I changed anything, just the name, right?
Right.
So now I went and copied that text that you had, and I'm just gonna we're gonna try it out here, right? This is in preview mode, so I'm just gonna write an SOW for no, we're gonna change it for double A firearms. Yeah. Using the following. All right, go down here, paste it, hit enter, and then let's see what it comes up with. See, it didn't ask me a question for this. So it just dove right in. So it is working right now. I'm just going to open in Canvas. Oh, answer in chat instead. So let me see if I can. I've never used this really on this side. I usually go straight to the, let's go to answer in chat instead. Okay, here we go.
Yes. That is so exciting.
Okay, so you noticed that all I did, I literally spent no more than 5 minutes doing the other one. Wait, where's the rest of this? Oh, was that all of it?
That was all of it for that one, yeah.
Okay. Wow. So it did it.
Yeah.
So then you would know that you're ready to go now. And we named this SOW. So Amy, when you go back to your regular ChatGPT, you're just gonna reload your page there. And obviously zoom back out. And you'll notice that your custom GPT is, whenever we get here, your custom GPT, these are pictures that I had done. So any images that you do, this was the talking robot that we had in one of our webinars. So
that's
any
cool.
of your, you've got your libraries here, your search, you can search your chats, right? So if I go SOW, it's going to show me where that SOW is, custom GPTs for SOWs. It's just a little pro tip. And then you're going to go down here and you're going to see all of the SOWs that you've created, right?
So cool.
So this is the one that I just did, and we could click on that, and let's see what happens if I just, Amy, plug in that text. I'm not asking it to do anything. I'm just plugging it in. Let's see what happens.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool. I'm geeking out over here.
No, that's good, because this is literally what these tools are made for. There's just repetitive task that you do over and over again. It's not special. It's just, we're just a little bit smarter now, right? And then you would just go back and read it and make sure everything's good. And then just go and copy and paste. Copy and paste, and you're good to go. No, I don't know if you guys realize what you just saw there, but anytime you highlight a text, You can ask ChatGPT about it.
Oh, that's neat.
So let's say, Amy, that you don't like this overview. What you can do is you can say, let me see. I've never done this before in my life. I'm just using common sense. Can you simplify this overview? And let's just see what it does. There you go.
Perfect. And I have to do that sometimes.
Yep. Absolutely. Hopefully you do, because I don't want the robots to be able to do everything we can do.
Right?
No, that would make us not very special. However, I want everybody out there to remember this stuff only does things because it's things that a human needs done.
Right.
I think we are, maybe 5 years away from a human being replaced, right? And I think it's that you're like pushing it by saying that, because robots don't have ideas.
Right.
Any idea that you think a robot has is just reflecting something that it's picking up from your conversation or the conversation that it has in its programming. It has no ideas. It's not alive. It's not sentient. So I think it's going to be really hard to replace humans, but I guarantee you people will be able to replace other people using these tools, right? Because
Absolutely.
I've got a team of 10 people and all I need is a couple of Joels and Amy's to do the work of 10 people, and they can do it because all the most of those tasks are repetitive,
Right.
whether that's, marketing, accounting, programming, whatever it is, it's coming, right? Because it's all it's doing is augmenting your mind. And it brings me back to something that I heard I'm a huge Steve Jobs fan because of his work ethic.
Right.
And I don't have that work ethic. I try, but that dude really, he took pride in his work, right? He just wanted his work to, and may not be very healthy for people, so take it with a grain of salt, but he wanted his work to define him, or he wanted himself to define his work because he knew he was at a higher standard. And back in the 80s, they were interviewing him. Somebody was interviewing him, and he said, they did a test. They ran a test. I think it was like Scientific American or something ran a test on locomotion, and I'm paraphrasing this. I'm probably butchering it, so forgive me, but you'll get the gist of what I'm saying when I'm done. Scientific American ran this test and studied the efficiency of creatures getting from point A to point B, right? And they found like that the raven or vulture or some huge bird was way at the top, right? Because obviously a couple of flaps and you're gone.
Right.
But they found that humans were like maybe a third of the way down the list of all living creatures. And then Jobs said, but someone had the forethought or a brilliant idea to say, let's put the human on a bicycle. So they put the human on the bicycle and it moved up to the very top, right? And all that bicycle was in Steve Jobs' time was computers. That's what he was pushing. He was pushing computers. Like the computer was the bicycle of the mind of those days, right? Well, AI is the rocket ship of the mind today, right? So we can look at the efficiency of human travel. A man in a glider coming off of a mountain is going to be is AI. He's going to go miles and miles and miles with very little effort, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah. So everyone out there, use this stuff. If I can do anything for you, again, Amy, has this been painful for you at all?
No, you've been amazing. Just reaching out to you
We had 2 minutes. We had a 2-minute conversation before I hit record. So I am not a stranger.
No.
I don't have anything against any of you out there yet. I'm just joking.
Yes.
No, I don't have anything against anybody. You don't. You're not gonna ask a dumber question than I can ask myself. So please don't think I don't want to look stupid. I have a PhD in making people feel smarter than me. All right, and I'm just telling you, and that's what we need to be able to get better. right? So just know your limits and say, hey, man, I don't know how to do this, but I want to. And here's my workflow. Here's what I do every day. Can you help me, or can the robots help me do this better? I will guarantee you that somewhere in your life you can plug one of these tools in that will save you a little time. And Amy, obviously you still have to collect the information, right? So you still have to have that conversation with the human. But now, do you have to go in and say, okay, they said this and they said this? You don't have to do that anymore, right?
So much easier now.
Copy and paste.
Yep.
And then just proofread, because that's all AI has turned us into, is editors and proofreaders.
Yep.
So this was fun. This was almost an hour, and I am so sorry because I thought it would be a lot quicker. But
no, you're fine.
Yeah. If there's anything else, Amy, that you ever have questions with, please don't hesitate. Any of you out there, again, I am rarely away from where I can help in any way I can, you know, I mean, unless I'm out in the middle of nowhere and there's no Wi-Fi, I can't help, but that's a rarity. So please let me know if I can help. I want Coreware to be what I know Coreware can be. And we are a technology company. We want to help our customers. Ezra's, you know, we want to help them survive and thrive. Right. And
absolutely,
these tools will help us do that, whether it's helping our customers do something, or whether it's helping us do something more efficiently for our customers. Because Amy, if this frees you up, then you can go maybe worry about more important things. Because right now, the big thing when you're writing SOW is, my gosh, this is going to take so much time. Who knows how many things are over here that need to be addressed, but you can't, because this has to be done, right?
Right.
Well, now this is going to free you up. So
that's great. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate everything.
Thank you. I appreciate it, because it's a big deal for you to just jump on and do this. So this is pretty cool. And you know what? I don't have to use our transcript anymore to build anything else. You know how to do it now.
Yep.
So I'm just going to share this internally with the company and let them, you know, have fun with it.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Obviously, Amy, why don't you introduce yourself? Because maybe people don't know you.
I'm Amy Keller. I'm actually on the enterprise team. I'm a client coordinator, and I do the SOWs. I work with Asana. I'm actually the Asana ambassador. So if you need any tips or tricks with Asana, I'm the person to ask, and that's it.
There you go. And your name sounds familiar. Why is that?
Yes, I'm married to Tony Keller.
Tony Compliance. If you've attended our webinar, Tony Compliance. And Tony is our compliance manager. And so that's pretty cool. You guys have a family team there.
Yes.
And I think your dogs are named Core and Where. I'm just joking. That's Ezra's thing. I don't want to name people or animals Core Where, but
well, I kept telling Joshy, if I ever get a puppy, I'll let everybody name it. So
it's gonna be like Core Puppy.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll figure it out.
Or E-Puppy. Or
E-Puppy.
I'm not gonna come up with anything brilliant. So might as well end it there. And my name is Joel. I'm the VP of Communications. If you guys don't know me, because I know we've got a lot of new people. We welcome you. Amy welcomes you. I welcome you. And I can't wait to see how far Coreware goes. The only thing I'm worried about with Coreware is overshooting what we're wanting.
Right. Being too good.
Yeah, if you're shooting for Mars and you overshoot Mars, there may be issues. So that's my only concern, is overshooting what we want to do, because I know with the team that we have in place and the leadership and all that, we're going to be freaking awesome. So
absolutely,
I'm here for the ride. I hope you guys are too. Let's work hard, and happy Independence Day for those of you that celebrate. If you don't celebrate, start your own. Start on July 4th, and then in 100 years, you guys can. I'm just joking. Don't do that. We just got banned in I don't know how many countries. No, thank you guys so much. With that, we're out. I don't have any music or anything, because we're at an hour right now, and I didn't think about it. So thank you, Amy. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you in the next one.
All right, sounds great. Bye, guys.